talk about this gas VEVOR trimmer. I've had a lot of feedback about it actually from a couple different places between this channel, my TikTok and stuff. So I thought that I would actually come back and do another video, especially today that it's nice and sunny and beautiful. We don't have very many of these days, especially now. And the next 10 days after tomorrow, we're looking at rain all the way through. Now this does come with a lot of attachments. So you do get your trimmer attachment. There's also a trimmer head. I don't know if I have that in here actually. Oh yeah, I do. I don't use it, but you do get your trimmer head so you can use your trimmer strings. And you also get your Hedge trimmer, which I did demonstrate that in the last video. Other than that, I don't really use this one. And there goes the chainsaw. We do have an extension for like that chainsaw and everything. You do get some crappy gloves, and this one does come with, like this guard thing and stuff. I don't use this one. Some people prefer it. I actually have a strap I'll show that in a minute that I personally prefer. It's just a little more comfortable for me. You also do get some, I'm unorganized here. You also do get some cheap earmuffs, ear protection. I don't use that either. And you do get a pretty decent face shield actually. I don't use it just because I do have one of my own. This one's from Yard Morris, which I actually prefer this one. You also get extra line for it. They do come, it does come with a couple different blades. Like it has that triple blade thing that I shared last time. And then you have like the saw or like the round chainsaw type one, which I don't use. It does come with a mixing bottle, so you can mix. This one is a 40-to-1, which is definitely better than the other one that I tried a while back, which was like a 25-to-1 weird Chinese one. It didn't really work that well. You also do get a little baggie of tools that you can use. You do have a funnel to put your gas and everything in. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. And you also do get your chainsaw attachment, which originally I said I wasn't really going to be using this, but I've actually found some uses for this where this is awesome because I don't have to get up in there when I'm trying to cut down little limbs or smaller trees. Like you'll see like some of that thick stuff back there. I can just stick that up in there and cut it down from a little bit of a distance. And then we have our trimmer itself. Now this one is a 52cc model. I've had some questions about the size of it. I thought I mentioned it before, I might have missed it. And I've also been asked about prices. I have seen the prices fluctuate a little bit with this one. Amazon, I've seen it for around 220 bucks, sometimes on sale for about 200, which is a pretty good deal when you're considering like buying steel and Echo. I don't really have the funds for some of those big brands. Now, I wanted to show the blade that I actually do like to use. I'll show you the damage that I caused to the thing as well. But I like these Choir Lingo blades or whatever they're called. They're not very expensive. I want to say they're like $20 or $30 and you get two of them. And they're kind of like a mower blade. And they will chew through things like crazy. And to me, it works a lot better than like the triple blade. Now I screwed up and I did not have this nice and tight on here. So when I was just whacking away at the vines, I ended up bending it upwards and the blade chewed through it. So you want to make sure that you do get this nice and tight. I was in a hurry and apparently I just didn't have it tight enough. So, I mean, it's no big deal. Still works, still guards, and maybe eventually I'll just replace the guard head. Now I haven't used this in probably about a week and a half just because of all the rain, but it should fire up pretty quickly. And like I mentioned in my previous video, I like to mix my fuel by the gallon, especially if you're going to do a lot of stuff around mixed fuel. Now this one has this start-stop switch on here, and this is one of the complaints that I have seen with reviews. I haven't had any issue with it, but you can pop it pretty easily. And putting it forward is going to stop it. You got to pull it back in order to start it. You do have your trigger, plus you have your safety right here on the top. You got to squeeze them both. Now under here's your little primer bulb. You're going to want to primer that a few times to get it started. And then your choke is right here. A little flip of that, you turn it all the way off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get everything down the hill and do a demonstration. It's gonna take me a minute to get everything down there. I've been sharing throughout the whole journey of carving this stuff back. It was a couple 100 feet back that way, so I've gotten a lot done. One issue that I also have is I have stumps everywhere. This used to be timber at one point. They harvested it and then everything else took over. And this stuff's not easy to deal with all the logs, the down limbs, the trees, everything that's in there. I'm trying to work on getting a tractor on payments probably this next week. I don't know how many people would be interested in content around that. I'm shopping around to see. I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong. I'm going to try it again. I took this apart. The rod thing that goes all the way up the shaft, for some reason I'm having issues with it staying connected up here. I didn't have it completely tight and I might have stripped something. I don't know for sure. I'll have to take that off to mess with it probably. I'm not really a mechanic, so I'm still learning how to do a lot of this stuff, but I'll have to see if I can get this working now. So like it starts to spin and then it stops. That is definitely a bummer. I don't know what I did wrong there, but I screwed it up. And I may have stripped it when I didn't have it tight on here. Well, if anybody knows what I did wrong there, definitely let me know. I'll mess with this in a little bit and see if I can fix that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the trimmer back on and just continue with the trimmer demonstration. That's what I mostly use it for, but I really wanted to share the other pieces. I'll have to bring my chainsaw down here instead. Well, that sucks. I just did this whole area and I wasn't even recording. When it comes to the trimmer, I love this thing. I could clear a lot of this stuff really easily, get in here easier to cut down these trees. All right, so I tried taking the chainsaw apart, tried to fix it. Can't figure out what's wrong with it. The rod was connected, but whenever I put it back together, start it up, it sounds like it's just spinning inside of there and grinding. So I'm not sure what happened there. It's kind of hard for me to really recommend a product when I'm already having some issues with something like this, but I also don't know if it was user error or if it's a faulty with the chainsaw. So the trimmer function works awesome. I love the trimmer, hands down. I'll continue to use the trimmer for sure. But with the attachments, well, the chainsaw is the only one that doesn't work. The hedge trimmer and stuff, it still works. So I don't know if I just screwed up something. I don't know. If anybody has any recommendations on what I can do to fix this, let me know in the comments below, because I would like to get it working again. It was working when I tried it a couple other times, but it's definitely a bummer because a lot of people wanted an update on this. Different people were interested, especially because of the price point. And maybe with the price point, you kind of get what you get. The trimmer itself, like I said, works awesome. I don't have any issues with that whatsoever. It's got a lot of power, and especially if you put that mulcher blade on there, So I don't know, it's kind of up to you if you're wanting to get something like this. Maybe you want it for just a trimmer and maybe those other attachments too. Some people might want it for that chainsaw attachment. Me, I have so many different chainsaws, pull saws and everything, it's not really needed for me, but I would like everything to be working. Anyway, hopefully this gives a better idea for some people who are looking into something like this. Maybe you might still want to spend the extra money to get a Steel, an Echo, or something like that. This one is a bit more in the budget-friendly price category. This would be the very first VEVOR product that I've had any kind of issue with anything. So I'm hoping that it was just user error with this and that maybe somebody can give me some hints on fixing that. Also, like I mentioned earlier, I am looking to possibly get a tractor here very shortly. I'm going to try and get some quotes this week from some dealerships nearby and see if I can get a good deal. I've seen some different deals for like 0% in 84 months. Originally, I was going to get one of those little Chinese ones, but a lot of people have been commenting on my comments and saying that it's a horrible idea. Everybody's been telling me that they're not worth getting. So I'm just going to cry once, find something that will actually work for the property, make it on payments, and go from there. There's a couple different brands I'm looking at. Mahindra, I forgot what it's called, but they have like an 84-month 0% deal. So if anybody's interested in that kind of stuff, let me know. I will do some content around the tractor if I do get one. I know a lot of people are looking for those. I've been trying to get one for several months now, and I'm going to finally bite the bullet and just try to do it. But anyway, hopefully this answers a few questions with the trimmer. I don't know, I'm hoping I can fix that. But anyway, thank you for watching.